What's up, everyone? How everyone is feeling today? Excited to be with you all once again for another live stream. How everyone is doing today? Varkop, thank you so much for subscribing my channel. What's up, everyone? How everyone is feeling today? Excited to see everyone. Charlie French Boy, welcome to the live stream. Ambly Dev, Jonas, Exathos. What's up, everyone? Oh my god. Excited to see you all once again for another live stream. Yesterday, it was fun. Yesterday, we literally spent so much time talking about jQuery and everything. It was just so hilarious. Oh my god. You know, thank you so much for the resubscription. 2 months already. G Tone, I think, right? How everyone is feeling today? You guys have to apologize about my mug today. You know, was kind of the only leftover, so I had to use it. You know. There we go, Exathos. You have your nice, cozy intro music on the live stream. GC3217, welcome to the live stream. Zoli, welcome once again. Mora, welcome. How you doing today? Sapien, I'm doing fantastic today. I had a very productive day. I shipped a huge feature on Laravel Cloud, which is the possibility of running commands and kind of have like almost real-time output on the cloud platform. So happy to get that out, and you know, that was a productive day for me. And I have very good news for you all. Okay, I have very good news for you all. Today I finally managed to crack one sponsor for the channel that I really wanted, and that's right, PHP Storm JetBrains is sponsoring my channel, my content, and I'm so happy about that. Like, so happy. Like, Laracast and PHP Storm, literally the sponsors I wanted since the early days, you know. So thank you so much, dudes. You guys are just unbelievably awesome. Thanks to you all, because this is thanks to you, you guys. You guys are always here every single day, you know. And because of the fact that you guys are here, these brands are literally trusting my work. I also trust my work on these brands because, you know, you guys know, like, since the very first live stream, I've been literally talking about Laracast and PHP Storm. And now I have PHP Storm and JetBrains sponsoring this channel. It's just unbelievably awesome, you know, unbelievably awesome. And it just makes me think a little bit, like, you know, to be truly frank with you, and you guys know I'm super open with you all guys about everything on my channel and on my content. Like, literally, I have contacted directly both Laracast through Jeffrey Way and JetBrains, literally saying, look, I'm producing this PHP content. I am already speaking cool things about you. You know, I'm already speaking cool things about you. And I just feel like it would be a great way to partner with me, like literally, you know, becoming sponsor of my channel. And these brands, both Laracast and PHP Storm, they didn't hesitate. They literally just said, yeah, we want to help you, you know, you are doing PHP content and we want to help you out. And so happy, man, so happy, literally. We need a PHP Storm emote on the Twitch. Yes, we do. Gabriel, thank you so much. Jamie, thank you. Phil, Sapien, Voss, Phil again. Yeah, really appreciate, you know. Someone is asking, should I use Twitch or YouTube? I'm gonna be honest, like, for videos, you probably should want to be on YouTube. For live streaming, I would advise you to go to Twitch. You know, Twitch is, live streaming wise, it just feels more natural to me, you know. The community regarding live stream is just so much better on Twitch. You can see, like, literally everyone is speaking all the time on Twitch, and it doesn't happen that often, for example, on YouTube, and it doesn't happen at all on X. Like, on X, nobody talks, so, which is kind of funny. TikTok is live again. We are now live on TikTok as well. You know, it was down for one day, but now the ban got lifted, so yeah, Twitch is definitely the, you know, something really cool. Thank you for joining Twitch. Yeah, Twitch is awesome, man. Oh my god, today we actually need to get some stuff done. Yesterday was a lot of talking. We talked about everything, jQuery, HTMX, like the entire thing. But today we need to get some stuff done, you know what I mean? I had an amazing day. Thanks for asking. I had an amazing day. How everyone is feeling today? It's already Wednesday? No, Thursday? Yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday. We are almost in the middle of the week. How you guys are feeling today? Did you guys are having a good week already, or? Hunter is asking, hope you are doing good. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. I have a burning question here. I have heard you have used SQLite so much. I'm curious if I can use it on my production app to reduce billing, as I'm currently use AWS RDS. I would do it. Just depends so much on your needs. If you don't have a lot of writes and a lot of reads, I would say, well, if you don't have a lot of writes, I would say SQLite is a great choice. You know, I'm using SQLite in pinkery.com, and I probably will use SQLite on everything, you know, from all my products starting today. But if I'm working for a serious company like Laravel, for example, which Laravel does have money to actually have a database in RDS, for example. So I'm going to literally just create an RDS instance on AWS and have like database restores just working. And we also have, you know, our RDS have a bunch of features like replicas and everything. So if money is not a problem, I would always go to RDS. But for my own side project, for example, I use Pinkery all the time. You know, it's like literally for free. It's a file on your system, so it's for free. Plus, database backups are almost free as well because it's just copy the file, which is so hilarious. You know, on Pinkery, I have database backups every hour, and I have already literally back up the database, restart the database once, and it works magically. You know. Someone in the chat is saying that Curso could be a great use case. So I actually want to try Curso on this live stream once. The thing I'm most curious about Curso is the pricing. Do you guys know the pricing of Curso? Do you know if it's expensive at all, or it's something like, for example, with $5, can I have like a database with a bunch of traffic or not? You're welcome, Hunter. Thanks for asking. Oh, Sapien, I apologize to read that. Sapien is literally saying that he's not having the best week because of interviews. Apologize, and you know, sad about reading that, but you need to keep it strong, you know. Just keep the motivation high, the energy high, and potentially things will just work out, okay? Oh, João Pires, thank you so much for that feedback. João Pires is saying, great Nuno, you are rocking the internet, thank you. You are giving a great boost to all devs. 1 hour of our live streams is equal to 1 week of senior mentoring. Thank you, I really appreciate those words. Good luck for all of you who are going through interviews. You know, at some point things will just work out. You just have to keep working hard, and at some point it will just click magically and you will be in your dream job. I can tell you that. Yeah, Curso has an open source driver which you can just install on Laravel and PHP, so it should just work technically, you know. I would expect that my experience with Curso would be simply going to Laravel, type composer required Curso on Laravel, and things just work, you know what I mean? That's what I would expect from Curso as a database driver, you know. I've never used vectors. Like, I have seen like already 2 or 3 articles regarding using vectors in your database. Can you guys explain to me in 1 sentence what is that about and why I would use that on the traditional Laravel application? You guys have an example? Rotis is asking, how about DigitalOcean for hosting? So I actually, before migrating everything to Laravel Cloud, I was using Laravel Forge with DigitalOcean, and I was happy with DigitalOcean. I think it's a great product. you know, and they have this option which is like $1 per month, and they will kind of do backups of your entire server. You know, I think it's like a hourly backup or a daily backup. I can't remember. So it's not expensive, and I was using that with Laravel Forge, but now I just migrated everything to Laravel Cloud. All right, so Yakira is saying that you can use vectors for GIS management apps with GPS, got you. Proximity detection, farming management, interesting. So it would be like geolocation stuff, interesting. Rob is asking, does cloud work out cheaper than Forge in AWS? It will depend on your use case. You know, it will depend on your use case. I think Taylor Otwell will answer some of those questions at Laracon EU, hopefully, and you guys will have, you know, some of that. Ducaten is asking how much I'm paying in Laravel Cloud. So now we are on the early access phase. So our customers are not paying anything. So I'm not paying anything so far. But I mean, I have to develop on Laravel Cloud, so I would be surprised if I would pay anything on Laravel Cloud in the future, you know. But yeah. Adrian is saying that LLM is also a big vector. Yeah, Adam, I mean, potentially could do a live stream on that, because I'm actually curious to see, you know, what is the usage of something like vectors on application development. I have literally no idea. Okay. All right, folks. I love you all. I love to chat, and we are going to continue to chat, but we need to get some stuff done. Yesterday we did nothing, literally nothing. Augusto Souza is asking me if I'm happy with my job. I love my job. I love what I do. I love PHP. I love Laravel. I love streaming. You know, sometimes I think I have a problem, to be honest with you, because I love waking up, having coffee, coming to my laptop. I love to be on my laptop. I literally love to be on my laptop, just do some geeky stuff all the time, you know? I love gaming. I love coding. And I don't know, man. Maybe I have a problem. Maybe, I don't know. Laracon will be when is Laracon? I don't even know. I will be actually I will be in Amsterdam on 29th January. So in like a week I have a flight there. So Laracon EU is 3 February. Okay. And one of the speakers should be Taylor. There we go. And he will be speaking about Laravel Cloud and many other things. By the way, I've published a new YouTube video today. If you guys don't know, I have YouTube videos every single day at 1 p.m. And today we have another one. About... what was about? Yeah, basically keep the DB in check with composite keys. Dude, this video about avoiding cascade deletes have been so polarizing. Like, it's so weird because if you see the number of likes, I have close to 200, I think, likes on this video already. So in the number of dislikes is like 10 dislikes, so which is not a lot. But the comment section, people are super polarizing. Like they say, oh, you should never do this, or you would see something like, oh, this guy is right, you know, if you are not doing this, you are missing out or whatever. So it's super polarizing, which is you know, it's crazy. But you know, I've published a new YouTube video today. Yeah. All right, dudes. That being said, we need to get some stuff done today. If you guys don't know, I'm literally building a new SaaS. This SaaS is literally a Google Analytics alternative. Okay, it's a simple Google Analytics alternative. Okay. So that's what you're working on. This repo is fully public, so you guys, I'm going to send you the repo so you guys can check it out. Not happy with the domain, so if you guys have, you know, any other suggestions regarding the domain, I'm still queen for that. I'm going to open a new issue because I'm literally not happy about the naming. Okay, I'm going to type, we need a new name, domain, put suggestions below. Okay, so you guys can, you know, come up with some ideas. Did you guys notice that GitHub literally changes the UI? Oh, this is totally different, right? We didn't have nothing of this. Interesting. Not bad. Not bad. Did you guys know this? What is this? Create more? What does this do? Oh, creates another one. Interesting. Okay. Well, not bad. And this is... And I can make a soup issue? Interesting. This is a new UI, right? I don't have this UI, I think, on my other apps. Have you guys noticed this? Like this new UI on GitHub? Mikael, that's definitely a meet at Laracon. I'm queen for that. Empty all over the place. Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch, by the way. I'm gonna send you my Twitch real quick. You can get access to all my socials by doing this, and I'm gonna send you my Twitch channel. So my Twitch username is this one. There you go. Oh, you have this UI enabled for a long time? It's kind of a cool UI though, right? Okay, I have seen that someone made a pull request making my models or preventing lazy load on my models. But you guys agree that this is just a default on the should be strict, right? Let's check this. Because I think when I'm doing something like should be strict, I'm automatically enabling the lazy loading, but let's double check that. I'm gonna go all the way down into this. Yeah, there you go. When you put should be strict and you provide true, which is the default option, this automatically prevents lazy loading. Therefore, this pull request actually doesn't do anything. That's just the default behavior of something like should be strict. So what I will do here is click on the conversation and say, actually, so is a good idea, but the method should be strict already activates or enables that option. Okay. Agent, what do you mean opt-in? Oh, yeah. So actually, GitHub allows you to literally enable some of these new features they have. To do that, I think you have to click on your own profile, and there is some sort of option on settings where you can literally enable kind of the new stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, feature preview. This is the thing. Yeah, there you go. So this is kind of the feature preview on GitHub page, and you can enable a bunch of this stuff. You know, so for example, I don't have the command palette. I don't have this rich Jupyter notebook diffs. I don't have this new merge experience, but you know, you can enable a few if you like, if you really like this. Exathos says that my plugin says 1 dislike versus a few low hundreds like. What do you mean exactly? Hey João, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you. Batista is asking, why do I need a new domain? I'm not happy with the current one for some reason. So maybe you can find something else, you know? All right, let's continue to just review these pull requests. We have now a pull request from Emer Key, which says is a cleanup and removes the seeders usage from the project as it won't be used at all. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like seeders at all, so let's remove this. I'm gonna just say agree and merge this. I'm not a big fan of seeders, to be honest. I don't typically use seeders, but basically because, or mainly because, my applications are not complex enough that would be worth a seeder even, you know? But I do understand why some people like seeders. I just, you know, never had a product that I was developing that actually need like a bunch of fake data. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that, Adrian. Thank you so much, Michael, for saying those words. I also love your energy by saying a comment like that, by the way. Yeah, for those who've missed the beginning of the live stream, I actually have exciting news. I managed to actually be sponsored by PHP Storm, which is right here. you know. And you guys know how happy I'm about this, because I would naturally say cool things about PHP Storm. Is already my favorite editor ever, you know. I love PHP Storm, and you guys know, like, I've been talking on these live streams about how cool PHP Storm is, and how for PHP development there is no best or any other alternative to PHP Storm. So happy that JetBrains and PHP Storm are liking my work here, and they are fucking awesome. Yeah, they're also like, they are also the big brains behind some of this reinvention of PHP. So they are kind of behind this project called PHP Foundation a little bit. They are sponsoring the PHP Foundation. So, you know, they deserve our love. And thank you so much, JetBrains and PHP Storm, for really, you know, being in our side. I think JetBrains already took over Laravel idea, no? I think if he didn't took over of Laravel idea, I think they kind of integrated very well currently. I do use Laravel idea, I think. Joan Sant is asking if I would in the future contribute to PHP. I think I'm contributing to PHP every day with my packages, you know. My packages combined have close to 1 billion downloads, which is like, a billion is a big number. So, you know, I'm already doing my part. I'm using PHP Storm Laravel license, basically. So at Laravel we have a company license, and I'm using that one on PHP Storm. But I do love PHP Storm, man. Great product. You know, props for them. Okay, so this was kind of the pull request we have seen yesterday, where this improvement was literally being committed or introduced in a pull request that it wasn't like related to the original one. So I said, can you literally just split a little bit that work? And the guy have just done that. So great job here. And I also requested the original contributor, if you guys remember, to kind of include everything in the same file, and that's exactly what he have done. Okay, expect pretty much all the classes to be read-only, which is kind of cool. And kind of avoiding initerations here and there. PHP annotations all over the place. Good job here, man. Yeah, I'm gonna accept this. There is a very high likelihood that I will be back to this to kind of review this a little bit better on a future live stream, but I'm gonna accept this for now. Ismail is asking, how can I cultivate the open source mindset? So I'm gonna tell you something that I truly believe regarding open source, that I feel that a lot of people who wish to start contributing to open source, they do never contribute to open source because they think they need to start big. And there is no actually way of doing open source and starting big. You know, you need to start slowly, and by doing something really simple, like fixing a typo in a documentation, or potentially just, you know, a very small thing here and there. Like I've seen some pull requests here on this project, which I feel like they were perfect as a first time contributors, you know, like for example, just update the README to be a little bit more explicit, or, you know, adding a pull request template. Even if those pull requests were to be closed, there is so much on the process of doing a pull request that you can learn from this, like how exactly do I fork the repo? How do I clone the repo locally? How do I change things? How do I create a new branch? How do I create a pull request after that? How do I describe what I'm about to proposing? You know, so all this iteration will make you learn something in the process, okay? And then you just keep growing from that, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people literally miss this small part of, you have to start small to then progress a little bit and do bigger and bigger contributions. Oh, Pint got 2 small fails. Perhaps there is an update or something. We are going to check that out real quick. Someone is asking if Laravel can do a WebSocket API. Absolutely. So you can go literally to a project on Laravel called Reverb, which is quite nice. No, I think, you know, I still want to learn NeoVim in Vim. I don't think the fact that PHP Storm is sponsoring this channel, that is related to me having a few live streams learning Vim. That's fine. I mean, most likely, even if I were to be, you know, productive with Vim, I probably would still use PHP Storm for PHP development, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can even fly a drone with Laravel Reverb, that's right. I think, dude, I'm not sure of this, but I think Reverb, well, the question if Reverb works on Vapor, it's more like Reverb doesn't work with Lambda because you literally need long-running processes, so that wouldn't work in Lambda. So basically you need to have a regular VPC within your Vapor network so you can use Reverb. That's it. Emily Dev is saying that I have a new pull request that fixes though to Pint issues. Thank you. Is this the one? There you go. Thank you for this. Okay, and I have as well 2 issues here. The one I just created, requesting a new domain. Now, something important, guys, I'm gonna write here. Please check if the domain is available before making a suggestion, okay? And you can, I think it's over.com, yeah. You can use this website to check that. Because sometimes the domain might look available, but it's literally like already bought and the price is like, you know, $5,000 or whatever. Deanna already made a video about that. You can check my video about publishing to packages. There you go. So there is like literally 2 videos right here. One called it Starting an Open Source Project, First Steps. And this video right here, which says publishing to packages, which is kind of, you know, releasing the thing. So you might want to check those 2 videos, okay? They are on my YouTube channel, okay? Constantine, I'm not happy with the name. I feel like we can find something a little bit more sexy, you know? I feel Penalize is not really, you know, the best name I have ever invented. Feels too company-ish. I wish we could find something a little bit more meaningless and a little bit more, you know, that would make people curious about this. The TTL would be .com ideally, you know. I'm open for other stuff though, but ideally .com. PHP stand eats memory limit. This is literally a problem of your PHP configuration. So ideally, you need to either inline adjust your PHP memory or set up a different one in your php.ini. So basically, every time you see a memory limit on the CLI, it's because you probably are using like 128 megabytes of memory in your php.ini. So you need to adjust that. To be honest, for local development, I use -1, which is you can use up to 36 gigabytes or whatever I have available. You know, so I don't care about that. So there is actually 2 features on PHP that I started to love or like more only after a while on PHP, which is named arguments. I love named arguments now. I'm using named arguments all the time. There is one example where I use named arguments all the time. Do you know when you have something like public function store, you know, like in your controller, and you would do something? So I love to do this, like return, for example, response, and then provide the status code of 200 like this, you know. I feel like response with a code 200 really reads good, you know what I mean? So Nameit arguments, in my opinion, are perfect for these kind of readability things. But also sometimes you have some sort of, you know, optional arguments, and you just want to modify one, but not by not providing like the content, which probably would be the case here. So you don't want to do this, for example, or this. So what you can do with Nameit arguments is literally just saying, okay, I'm going to provide the status, which will be 201, for example. Okay, I really like this. Ixar, thank you so much for the domain suggestion. João Santos is saying, if you need to integrate your API with external sources, would you develop a package? I don't think I would. I talked about this a little bit, and hopefully we are going to find some use cases in this project here. I would typically develop or create a services directory where I would have any kind of interaction with the outside world. That's typically what I would do, you know? PHP Nameit arguments? I don't know, man. Probably PHP. If it's not PHP 8.2, it would be probably PHP 8.1. But I feel like, just like Nameit arguments and attributes, PHP have made an amazing job. Okay. So I want to start today's coding session by talking a little bit with you guys about... Do you guys remember that yesterday we talked that migrations regarding pages, we would have to have literally multiple rows per page? Because if we think a little bit, let's think, for example, about the about page, for example. So our customer have something like about page, which will have potentially 100 views, and people typically spend like 5 minutes on it, right? Would be something like this. Something we need to think about is that the customers using our app, they will want to see like the last 5 days, you know what I mean? Or the last 24 hours, you know, or the last 30 days. So I feel like we need to organize a little bit our data per bucket. And bucket was kind of the column name I was looking for yesterday, and I was just missing the word, which is the about page had 100 views, or 100 and potentially 223, for example, an average of 5 minutes on this given bucket. Okay, the bucket is like kind of the period. And something I was a little bit undecided is kind of the granularity we want to give to this bucket. I think for now the day is fine, but ideally over time we may have to actually work a little bit with hours. But I feel that for now we are working only with dates. So the about page will be potentially multiple rows like this, and all of them will contain different information. So if you were to request me, like, give me the last 7 days of information about the about page, I will tell you exactly, because I have all the information right on my fingertips. Okay, what do you think? What do you guys think about this, by the way? Malok is saying, I would keep the pages table, but create another table for the page details. Why would you do that, by the way? I'm curious about that, though. Thanks, Big Tom. Yeah, Mario, the plan is literally like store those events on this activity table, but then have this queue job, call it ingest activity, which will basically process that given activity, reading all the events, and mutate the pages table to kind of mutate the views, the number of average, and blah, blah, blah. But someone on the chat is saying that we possibly could have a different table for those details. Now look, let's do something. Let's keep it simple like I am suggesting right now, but over time, if we think that it's worth to literally have another table for pages, we are going to do it. Okay, if you don't mind. I don't use queues for saving data all the time. I'm gonna be honest, typically I only use queues for either heavy work or work that requires to communicate with external APIs. When you do like when you need to communicate with external APIs, let's say, for example, AWS, you don't know when you do a GET over there, regardless of the service it is, you don't know exactly the timing, the time of the response. You know, you don't know if it's 1 second, you don't know if it's 2 seconds. If it's GraphQL, will take even more than that. So you want to be careful about this API call. So typically when I do API calls, I defer that work to my queues, typically. You know what I mean? João Santos is saying that I have looked at inertia and it's pretty cool. I agree with you. Inertia is awesome, man. But yeah, so let's just pull everything we have on GitHub real quick and see if we have a passing test suite to begin with. And hopefully we do. There we go. Let's run composer update bump and run our entire test real quick. Oh, no code coverage available? Which PHP version am I using? Oh, I may actually have to enable PHP coverage on my herd configuration. Give me 1 second real quick. Apologize about this. Actually disable coverage today because I had to do, you know, some work. Okay, should be good now, right? There we go. Coverage is enabled again. And let's run composer test once again. Great question from Mario. Why do not save events on its own table? The reason why I don't want to save events on its own table, it's potentially because we are going to have a bazillion of events on that table. You know what I mean? If we were to do that. I feel like you need to understand something. Sites like Analytics, Google Analytics or whatever, they have the same amount of traffic as all its customers combined. You know what I mean? Because typically you are persisting like an event each time one of your customers' receive an event. You know what I mean? So you want to be very careful about that. And if you were to store any kind of interaction, that would be massive. You know what I mean? That would be massive. Plus, on top of that, I don't want to keep any kind of history on of those customers. So my plan is kind of consume that activity, store that on the literally adjacent column like this, and then have this job called the ingest activity where I would mutate all those events and mutate the pages table. That's my goal. And delete the activity. At the end, once I consume the events, I'm going to delete the activity, just like that. You know, I don't want to persist anything. Dude, to learn, to use pcove, I would have to learn about pcove, so... So, Vaz is asking, what is the difference between DTOs and value objects? I cannot tell you the difference. I can tell you, though, that I use value objects to literally type some of the arrays I may have in my project, you know? So, confused, though, like, why people would invent that data transfer object. So, I cannot really help you with that. It's just another driver for coverage. You mean pcove? Interesting. Okay, do we have a passing test suite? We do. We do have some composer dependencies that got updated, including the Laravel framework, which is kind of nice. I always like to run composer bump. So I'm going to type git add git add p. There we go. And then git commit -m. And I'm going to simply type sure bump dependencies, just like that, okay? Yeah, absolutely, Roberto. Roberto is asking what are the rules I'm using on my Reactor PHP. Nothing too advanced, to be honest. I'm using dev code true, code quality true, type declarations to true as well, privatizations, you know. So that code will effectively remove any dead code I may have on my project. Code quality will kind of, if I'm not mistaken, improve some of the if conditions I may have, for example, and many more other code quality suggestions. Type declarations will add types to my code. Privatization will kind of change stuff like protected to private and add final classes and more. Early return will change if-else conditions to if and then return in the middle. And finally, we have strict booleans, which prevents of you doing something like if like this model or whatever. If model is an eloquent model, this will basically replace this by instance of model, for example. Yeah, Rector is awesome, by the way. I have a video about Rector on my YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out. So let's work on the bucket deal, okay? So what I want to do is the following. Should we do some TDD today? No. Let's go to the table and then write the tests, okay? So obviously, we have pages which are constrained to a one project ID. We have the number of views and we have the average time. So something we are missing, of course, is the path of that page. Can you guys confirm to me that if you were to have something like this, like literally example.com/about, how would you call this little thing? Is path, right? Can you guys confirm that to me? Activities won't be persisted. I'm going to delete them once they are processed. It's path. What do you guys think? Slug, Charlie is saying. Interesting. I would use path, perhaps. Slug. Oh my god, people are saying slug. Absolutely path. I think you guys, the ones who are saying slug, I think you guys are confused. For example, if you have something like, let's say, cloud.laravel.com. I know this because I have worked on slugs on Laravel Cloud. So if you have something like my organization, okay, but then you have my application or my project, and then you have like production. My organization is a slug, and my project is another slug, and production is another slug. However, all this thing combined, this is the path of my URL. You know what I mean? Okay, people on YouTube, Renato and Sapien is saying that I probably should use path. I think I should always use path as well. Yeah, let's use path for now, if you guys don't mind. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to use path for now. Okay. So the path is not unique and is a string, that's for sure. And then we have a bucket, right? Bucket for the date time where, yeah, for the date time, I'm gonna just do this. This is definitely a date, not a date time, right? So date, and this will be a bucket, or, you know, the place where kind of all these views and average time was based on. So this makes sense to me. And this is definitely a date, right? We don't want a date time. Okay, this looks cool. Okay. If I run my test suite, I kind of expect my test suite just to fail. So let's start by adjusting existing tests. There we go. Three tests failing. So if I go to project tests, I have, you know, I have what? What do I have? Oh, of course. Apparently I'm creating pages somewhere. Yeah, I'm creating pages, but I literally need to adjust the factory. So I'm gonna go all the way down to factories and then page factory. And of course, I need to adjust this little thing right here. One of them is the path, which Faker is proposing me the URL. I don't know what URL is, so I'm gonna just DD this using the best debugger in the world. You guys know on the chat, what is the best debugger in the world? What is the best debugger in the world? You guys know. You guys know. DD, oh my god, hilarious. DD. Yeah, date bucket. You feel that date bucket would be better? We can probably use date bucket, to be honest. I'm gonna keep it bucket for now, but we could probably use date bucket, to be honest. You cannot live without DD. I agree with you, dude. João, I don't have a Lambo yet. I would, you know, I would love to have a Lambo, but I don't. Okay. Can I use slug here? Yes. Thank you, thank you. What else? We have a bucket, which will be a faker date. This makes sense. What happens if I run past PHP? One failing test. Which, this is kind of how powerful testing the to array is. I now know that I have 2 more information, and I also know that literally the path in the bucket was added after my project ID, which is exactly what I wanted. If I have received this question a bunch of times, what do I use to get these suggestions automatically, just like this? This is called GitHub Copilot, and it's something you can configure on PHP Storm. As you can see, GitHub Copilot right there, and it's just awesome, okay? I've seen people talking about JetBrains and PHP Storm AI. I probably need to test that, you know? I haven't tested yet. Claudio, it's all right. You can question if you just arrived. I'm using Bucket for literally storing when those views in average time happened. Okay, so if we have a project, let's say, not a project, a page, I apologize. Let's go here into my pages table. If I have something like this, and then I have, for example, the about page was visited 100 times and the average time was 2 minutes, I want to store this on a specific date. So then we can have another about page that had this time 250 views in 3 minutes average time on the day after. So if the customer was to request, give me the last 7 days, we know exactly how to answer that question. Manel, thanks for asking. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP Laravel developer, and I love what I do, and I'm streaming every single day at 9 p.m. on Twitch and YouTube. This application is literally a Google Analytics alternative. We are building all together using PHP and Laravel, the tools we love. And by the way, if you want to support my work, the only thing you have to do is follow me on Twitch and follow me on YouTube as well. Potentially the goal, Renato, is literally using AI to kind of, you know, give good insights to customers, potentially. Potentially we can have some sort of LLM running locally. I would be keen to test that, to be honest. Exithos, what do you mean by not getting an int as an average? I feel I can do that, right? Let's go now into our unit actions. We have create activity. This is okay. We don't need to touch on this. And we don't need to test anything else, I feel. Yeah, this is looking cool. I want to test the format of the bucket real quick. Let's go here. It has a bucket date value. So if I create a new page, the bucket should be a date time interface. And if I format like this, what do I have? Exactly what I wanted. This is just perfect. Yeah. So nice. Let's do this. By the way, something I have done on Laravel Cloud, I don't know if you guys agree on this, but I feel like overall something that should be by default on Laravel is literally this thing. Before each. And then this freeze time, you know? I think it's freeze time. I can't remember what it is. Let me try something else. Carbon, immutable. No. What is the method name? It is freeze time, right? Let me check. Yeah, freeze time. There you go. Because typically, if you want to test dates, you probably want to use the now function, and you want the now function to return the same value all the time, not a couple of milliseconds afterwards, you know what I mean? So something I've done on Laravel Cloud is literally freeze time on the before each on every single method. So if I were to use something like bucket equals to now, for example, I can literally go all the way down and expect that given bucket to have today's date, you know what I mean, without any timestamp differences. Oh, freezing seconds? Let's do that. Thank you for the feedback. It's like this. Oh my god. I don't have any auto completion over there. I don't know why. Okay. Like freeze second, or I think freeze time is the same thing, dude. I'm gonna use freeze time for now. Okay. However, something I want to do is literally do something like this. Expect the bucket to be an instance of carbon immutable. And what else? I expect the format. There we go. All right, it is failing because I don't have the casting yet set up. So what I can do is go to my models folder, click on pages, and go all the way down and type public functions casts, which will return that my views are an integer. Interesting, I didn't have this. I want to test this afterwards. At least the bucket is a date. Meaning that in theory, I should be able to do this. All right, let's run PHP stan and pass PHP. There we go, passing as expected. Is PHP stan happy with all of this? Yes, it is. Nice. Do we have all those numbers as in integers? I think we do. Yeah, we don't need to do that. Cast should be protected. Thank you. You mean this one? Thank you. Now let's run the entire test suite real quick. Yes, Mario, freeze time is exactly the same thing as travel to now. Actually, on Laravel Cloud, I think I was using travel to now, not that you're talking about that. The only thing I wanted is literally ensure that if I were to reuse the function now, it would always return the same date and not like a tiny milliseconds afterwards, you know, which is kind of the thing I didn't like at all, a lot, you know. I'm not only live on X, I'm live on YouTube as well. You can, this is my YouTube username. and I'm also live on Twitch. There we go. Scott is asking me, can you talk a little bit about your test setup? Yeah, I can. So I have multiple videos on my YouTube channel about my testing setup, but just to explain you a little bit, I have literally set up already multiple tooling on this project. You know, I have Pint, which is the equivalent of ESLint, styling my code, Reactor PHP for refactoring my code, type coverage to check if my code is fully typed, Pack PHP to detect typos, you know, Past PHP with 100% of code coverage, PHP stand, which is TypeScript of PHP to detect types in my code. And I have kind of encapsulated this entire thing on a single script, call it test. So if I run composer test, I'm effectively running all this tooling behind the scenes, which I just love it. Chenzo, I feel like for now, date is more than enough. We are building an MVP, and I feel like if we were to increase the granularity to something like hours, probably would be, you know, something to do in the future. Amir is saying, but you still type vendor something. Yeah, sometimes I do, you know, it's fine. The most important thing is that the test suite is literally running on the CI, this little script, call it test. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for saying that. That's cool. Thank you. Someone is asking if we should support multiple time zones. Oh my god. Why did you mention time zones? Okay, let's pretend he didn't say that. Okay, let's pretend there is no time zones in the world and everyone wants stats and graphs on UTC. What do you guys think about that? Looks a good idea, no? Oh my god. I thought everything was going good and now you mentioned time zones. Oh my god. But effectively, he actually have made a good point, which now makes me think that if we were to start everything in hours, we are kind of ready for the future. Because with hours, you can literally query whatever you want. You know what I mean? You know, if we were to use time, like literally daytime instead of date, the time zone wouldn't be a problem, you know? Can you guys confirm this with me, please? Like, if we go to the if you go to this table and we set up the bucket in daytime, I'm able to query this bucket regardless of the time zone I am. Can you guys confirm this to me? Because if the customer, let's assume something, the customer is visualizing the browser using, you know, from US, you know, on US, you guys know the time zone over there, it's just different from, you know, different from here, for example, in Europe, which is UTC. So if we start everything on daytime, would obviously store as well the hours and the hours. So potentially this information would be queryable even if you are using a different time zone, right? Exactly. The only problem is that we were using dates instead of date times. So I'm going to convert this to date time, and hopefully my test will just fail because of this. It's still passing? Interesting. So I'm going to go to my page model, actually my page test. And yeah, it's because I was formatting like this. So what is the format if I were to do something like this? Interesting. Do I need to fresh this? Probably I need to, right? I don't. Okay. So if we were to store this in hours, something that looks like this. Oh, I know why. Because on my page.php, I'm using date instead of daytime. Oh my god, is this auto completion by... Interesting. So good. There we go. And there we go. Okay. It's looking better now. That's Laravel idea, right? Oh my god. It was so good. You guys saw this auto completion right here? I can literally just type this and have auto completion out of the box. Oh my god. Oh my god, so good. Love PHP Storm, man. Which is funny. I would say that I love PHP Storm, even if they weren't sponsoring this channel. Yeah, the user time zone is important for sure. The time zone, though, would be the one that the user is visualizing the dashboard, right? Because it would always have to be stored as UTC, you know what I mean? Yeah, just change the casting on the model. Thanks for pointing that out, though. All right, we have a passing test suite. Today I want to work on that queue job, call it ingest activity. So JetBrains is indeed a paid, you know, PHP Storm is a paid software, but only if you use it through commercial uses. I think like for open source, but also for, you know, if you are in a university, it's totally free. But if you use commercially, which means that you work for a company, probably the company have money to buy you a license of PHP Storm. Yeah, the time zone would be, though, the user visualizing the dashboard, our own dashboard, and that we can get from the browser. We're chilling on that. That's right. I agree with you, Sapien. All right, folks, we have a passing test suite. What else I want to do here? I want to commit all of this. So let's type feed pages and add bucket and path. Do I want to test anything else on this? I don't think I do, right? Yeah, I don't think I do. I think this is more than enough, way more than enough. However, I want to work today on this ingest activity. Okay, we have buckets. We have an activity with a bunch of events. I feel like now is the process of, if we were to ever call this in our API, you know, the API will receive an activity which it's just a payload with a bunch of events. Now we need to work on consuming those events, mutate the page stable, in delete the activity, okay? So let's set up a test for this. So I have this job, which is called an ingest activity test, and we can use this for now. First thing I want to do is create an activity, right? So this will be basically the arrange phase. I want to create an activity with a particular set of events, okay? The events will be type view. So we have like already value objects for all of these, right? I can do potentially event type, view, about, there we go. And I can also create a new event type from the type event duration. Something I'm doing, I don't know if this, you know, people were basically condemn me publicly if they know this, but I feel like enumerations these days, they are super powerful for static factories, you know. Obviously, a factory class, it doesn't combine well with enumerations, but I feel it's kind of sexy to be able to come to this you know, this event type and create me a view with this URL, you know. This will basically return me back a new value object event with the given type, which is kind of cool. Okay. Don't tell this to the PHP police, so people will, you know, kill me publicly. It's fine, Renato. The purpose of bucket is being able to store the data or a date where those views and average time were related to. So when someone asks for, like, you know, give me the last 7 days, for example, we know exactly where to search that data. That's it. Oh my god, there's a big storm outside. I don't know if you guys could hear. Probably not because of the music, but there's a big storm outside. If I get without energy, if the live stream just ends, you guys know why. What's up, Carlito? Welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you, dude. So we arranged the activity real quick with 2 events, and then we act, and finally we actually assert. Okay, creating the job instance is still part of the arrange. So we act by calling the job itself, and finally we assert. You got a thunderstorm near Lisbon? Yeah, got you. You couldn't listen from Germany? Oh my god. Adrian is asking me if I took the bucket from Pulse. I didn't. Actually, the idea of the bucket came from these various charting libraries I have worked with. But potentially on Pulse, they have very cool stuff or cool patterns I could be using on this, to be honest. Panstorm.com could be a good name for our SaaS. Can you check if that domain is available? Thanks, Joan, for those words. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so we have 2 events. Something we want for sure is that we want to make sure that when we refresh the activity, we don't have anything else. You know what I mean? Like when we refresh this, this needs to return null. So if I were to call refresh here, this needs to be null. You know what I mean? So if I type expect fresh, I expect this to be null because we do not store activities, you know. We process them, we consume them, we ingest them, but then we delete them. Okay, this is the first thing we need to test. If I run my test suite, obviously this will fail. There we go. I can cable this only method at the end if I want to literally just run this test, and obviously it's failing, meaning that I'm not literally deleting the activity. So I can go to my queue job, and instead of saving, I can just type delete. And this should do the job for now. There we go. We have now a passing test suite. What else? Well, I expect to, just below on this, I expect to now go to the page model, and I should find something. Actually, I should have a count of 0 at the moment. So the count of pages should be 1 because we have 2 activities exactly on the same timestamp. Now there is this question of where do we collect the timestamps from? Do we collect them from the browser or we collect them in our own backend? I feel we can safely collect them in our backend because I predict that it will take like up to 30 seconds max to send those events to our backend. So I feel we can use our own timestamp of our own API to literally, you know, understand when this event was kind of created. You know what I mean? Exactly, Charlie. That's what I was thinking. What is available? Panstorm? No way, dude. Oh my god. Panstorm is so much better than this one we have at the moment. Scott is asking what is fresh. That's a great question, dude. So the fresh method will return you a fresh instance of the activity, which is a model. However, because the activity is being deleted on the job itself, as you can see here, the fresh method will return null because the activity doesn't exist anymore. So the to be null literally asserts that. That's a great question, by the way. Exactly. Someone is asking, what is the difference between fresh and refresh? That's also a great question. So if you have something like model A equals to, you know, let's say page first, and you have model B. So it's kind of tough because, not tough, it's basically like if you call refresh, you are literally also mutating the current object. If you call fresh, you are returning a fresh instance on the return of the fresh, basically. So, for example, how can I explain this even? Oh my god. But let me try to come up with a good explanation for this. Yeah, basically, like, if I were to do something like model refresh, refresh will kind of mutate this object right here. So if I were to use like model A now, I would have like the fresh content of the model on this same object, you know what I mean? But if I were to call fresh, this will actually return from the function a new object. So model A will still be whatever it was in the past, you know, it's basically that. Well, because you are literally, when you call refresh, you are mutating the existing object. You are also, you know, reloading the relations at the same time. That's for sure. Okay, the page count now needs to be 1 because we are storing using the same timestamp. Obviously, the response is 0, so we can work on this. I'm going to go into ingest activity. And before deleting this, and something we can do is kind of fetch those events from the activity, just like that. And what do we have here at the moment? We obviously have those events which you can iterate on. Yeah. So something we can do, I'm wondering if we can have this casted to an eloquent collection, but also these elements inside to kind of have, you know, to be typed as well. Not really sure if I can do this. The app name, that's a great question. That's a $1 million question. Someone was saying Panstorm. Enum collection, Adrian, can you tell me a little bit more about that, please? The audio is saying, can I watch the previous records? You can go to my YouTube channel. I have literally a section called it Live, and you can see all of my live streams, including today's one, yesterday's one, and etc. As enum collection, interesting. I want to read more about that. Let me check that real quick. I don't think it's exactly what I want, because what I do have inside this collection is not actually cases. It's more like actual payloads. You know what I mean? It's like I need a custom collection, but I don't think I want to do that at the moment. Someone is asking, what do you advise to a person that knows only print high, and is it fun? I would advise you to go to Laracasts, which is literally the place what I have learned PHP is this site right here, and I have literally learned everything about PHP and Laravel on this website. You know, if you're a video learner, this is definitely the place to go. Okay, there is video courses about object-oriented principles in PHP, PHP for beginners, and more. Okay. You're welcome, dude. Thanks for asking that, by the way. Someone is asking, how do I test the structure of an API response in Laravel? I typically, you know, sometimes I use snapshot testing, sometimes I use to match on Patsy's expectation API, but I try to make sure that the response doesn't change, especially, you know, so snapshot testing is a good idea for that, you know. The app I'm creating is literally Google Analytics alternative. By the way, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and Laravel developer, and I love what I do. If you want to support my work, if you're enjoying the content, give me a follow on Twitch, but also on YouTube. You can also support financially all of my work by becoming a Twitch subscriber or YouTube member. By becoming a YouTube member, you are literally giving access to all the early access videos every single day. You're welcome, dude. I think what I will do for now is on this event, obviously I have an array, so I'm going to kind of convert this to a typed array for now. So I will do this. I'm going to collect all these events. Potentially, I'm going to improve this in the future, okay? It's very likely, actually. But for now, I'm going to just simply map them. And I know that I have an array here of event, and the type will be something like, you know, this will be event type from the given type, and the payload actually is the payload okay? Perhaps. What I do want to do though is instead of doing this, I want to do this. I want to match the type. That's what I want to do. Exactly. There we go. This is exactly what I want to do. If the type is event value, because I'm getting this as a string, I want to definitely create a new view with the given payload URL. Yeah, this works for now. Not ideal, but it does the job at least. Okay, and I do expect to have a collection of typed events here. Almost. And handle match case view duration. Oops, I forgot the value here. There we go. So I do have a collection of typed events, which is exactly what I wanted. It does the job for now, okay? All right. What else do I want to do? Well, I want to iterate in every single one of those events. And I think that for now, I'm going to not try to early optimize. I'm going to do something stupidly simple. I'm going to go each one of those events, which now they are typed. And if we have an event that is the type view, the only thing we need to do is type, well, actually I need to fetch the page first, right? Yes. I'm gonna find, you know, the given page. So this activity, project page, where find or create. Oh my god, this is so good. Where or create. Do we have something like where or create? I don't think we do, right? We do have find or create, but I kind of want to do something like where or create. Do we have this? I don't think we do. So probably we'll do something like this. Oh, there we go. First or create. This is exactly what I want. So give me the first page you find where the given URL is that one, and create one, or find one or create one. This is exactly what I want. So at this point I have a page. Okay. Ishmaelek, thank you so much for 6 months, dude. I really appreciate your support, man. You guys know all the money I'm getting from this, it will be reinvested or making the stream better. I really appreciate you guys supporting my work. Okay. Yeah, let's use the first on create. You know, I love this kind of models, by the way. I love this kind of method models where I can simply just type first or create. They are so handy, so, you know, useful. I truly love this kind of stuff. But I'm glad that you guys like this as well. Thank you, Jonas. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I love enums in PHP. PHP enums are awesome, man. I agree, man. Eloquent is awesome, man. Exists or I could potentially have used that, yeah. But let's use first or create for now. Okay, so at this point I have a page, right? What I want to do is, depending of the type of event, I'm going to kind of tweak the pages table. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if we have a type view, let's increment the views. This actually works nice for me at the moment. And if we have a view duration, we are going to do something a little bit differently, which is not increment the view duration. This will be a little bit different, right? Why are you complaining though? Wow, we have rated by Luffy Brududev with a party of 17. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. My name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do. And today we are building a Google Analytics alternative. And, you know, I love PHP and Laravel. I'm super productive with this stack. And I don't know what type of stack do you guys do, but you guys can let me know on the chat. I think Java, João, is a great language, is a great ecosystem. But yeah, for web development only, I feel like today, full stack frameworks like PHP and Laravel and Rails, they are insanely productive. That's what I feel at the moment. You guys are French developers. I want to let you know that I also speak French, by the way. I used to live near Paris, so... Je peux parler français un petit peu si vous voulez. Du coup, je m'appelle Nuno, je suis développeur, je travaille avec Laravel and PHP. I actually lived in Paris for a while, so that's why I actually know the language. How is your French, guys? You guys speak French at all? Mon français est très bien. Bah, en gros, en fait, ma femme, elle est française aussi. Thank you. Yeah, so I actually speak English, speak French, and speak my native language, which is Portuguese. Okay. What you guys were doing before rating this live stream, by the way? I'm actually curious. Yeah, I speak Portuguese. It's literally my native language. Nuno Maduro is a Portuguese name, yes. Yes, it is. The Frabudev is saying that he loves literally Laravel and Adonis.js. Adonis.js is kind of the Laravel framework of the JS ecosystem, right? Probably like one of the reasons why Adonis.js is still like not as popular as Laravel. It's because of the ecosystem. Laravel is literally way more than just migrations and routing. So, but Adonis.js is awesome, that's for sure. Luis is asking when Laracon Spain. Well, actually we had a Laracon EU in Spain not that time ago. So Adonis.js is like Next.js. I don't know. That's a good question for the audience, though. I feel like today all of those frameworks are literally type safe at the moment. You know, all of them use TypeScript. That's what I would expect, though. You know. I'm going to create a private method for each one of those cases, by the way. Okay. I'm going to call this handle view, for example, where I will receive literally that given event. There we go. Just like that. The page, though, yeah, the page, I need to receive that as well. Let's do that. I'm actually thinking that, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, like this. Oh, do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. Yes, I want to handle it like this. Or not. Let's actually receive the page. Yeah, there you go. So we fetch the page where the URL belongs to that one. First or create, we get the page, we increment the views, bam, bam, boom, done. Yes, sir. And then we have another one below, which says handle the view duration event. There we go. And that is still yet to be determined. Why are you complaining, though? Oh, there we go. There we go. Adrian, I still don't use a lot that little, you know, keyword pubf. I need to probably start using that. Hi Ben, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you, man. Thomas, I never used Ember.js. What's up, Mikey? Nice to see you, dude. Ishmael Davis asking if TypeScript equivalent will be built for PHP. Is PHP Stan? Like PHP Stan is literally TypeScript for PHP. Something that people need to understand is that TypeScript is a superset, meaning that all it does behind the scenes is convert back to regular JavaScript. You know what I mean? So technically, there is no differences between PHP Stan and TypeScript. Besides that, TypeScript feels like a new language, but in the reality, it's just you know, it's just JavaScript. Lafribi Dudev is saying, I'm using PHP Storm. Yeah, I'm using PHP Storm. I love PHP Storm. I actually got amazing news today. For those who didn't saw the beginning of the live stream, I'm actually being sponsored by PHP Storm starting today. You know, I love PHP Storm. I've been pitching in saying good things about PHP Storm since day one of my live streams. And I'm just proud and happy that I'm able to get the sponsors I want for this channel and for this, you know, for this live streams. Laracas and PHP Storm. I love this, folks. So huge love for PHP Storm. Renato is saying that to generate truly unique URLs, you will have to parse the URL and remove query parameters. That's a very good point. You know, that's a very good point. Yeah, I'm using currently literally, you know, JetBrains Mono Nerd font with the size of 20, 1.2 of line width. I'm also using the color scheme. Dude, I will never learn how to say this. Capuchin, or teen, right? Capuchin mocha. Capuchin. Where did I find this font? I think it just comes with PHP Storm, I think, even, you know? Yeah, it's a lovely editor. I mean, when I see people comparing other editors with PHP Storm, I'm going to be honest, and I said this before they even become my live streams, you know, my sponsors. For those of you who are OGs on my channel, on my Twitch, you guys know I've been pitching PHP Storm since day one. And I find very, very hard to believe when other people try to compare other editors with PHP Storm, because I use all of them and nothing is compared with PHP Storm today. That's just my opinion, okay? That's just my opinion, okay? Thank you, Adrian, for that tip. Claudio just shared the link regarding where can you find this kind of fonts, by the way. Okay, Fernando just made a great job of putting some of the words I should say to literally spell this theme. So the theme is Cappuccino Mocha. Cappuccino Mocha. Cappuccino Mocha. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's... When I see like other editors, for PHP development, nothing gets better than PHP Storm. At the moment, you know, 2025. And honestly, I've been like this for a decade almost, since I can remember. So... Why this is complaining, though? Oh, this is wrong, that's why. There we go. Yeah, also for front-end development, I agree with you. So, people are asking me on YouTube if I have left Sublime Text. So this is just my opinion, okay? We have full IDEs for development, and PHP Storm is one of them, you know? You know, full IDEs with auto-completion, with very good refactor capacities. That's PHP Storm, you know, refactoring, autocomplete, and you know, AI and all those cool things. That's PHP Storm, you know. But sometimes you just want a regular plain editor just to literally change one line. That's when I use Sublime Text. You know what I mean? Eric, I will consider your request. Thank you. Never really understood what is Fleet, Charles French boy. What is Fleet exactly? I'm using PHP Storm like the normal one. What is Fleet, by the way? Yeah, Renato, like PHP Storm and Sublime Text, they are different tools, you know, they are different tools. It's like comparing, I don't know, man, but the terminal with the browser, they are literally different tools, okay? One is a full fleshed out IDE, the other one is like a regular editor to literally just change, you know, super fast, a few lines of code. Dude, just, oh man, I don't want to be too opinionated on this, but VS Code, it's not even close to this. But this is just my opinion, okay? But anyways, VS Code might be good for JavaScript development, you know, but for PHP, nothing gets close to PHP Storm. This is just my opinion. You know, I don't know what you guys think, but it's just my opinion. Nothing gets really, nothing even close, you know? Okay, PathPHP is complaining because I didn't provide the path when I'm trying to literally create the page. So something I can do is remove this where condition and just use first or create, just like that, okay? Almost, and I have a failing test suite because no named colon URL. Yep, this is path. And someone on the chat was saying that you need to remove the query parameters from the URL. You guys know a very quick way of doing that or ensuring that? I think I'm gonna not do that and kind of trust the form request layer to ensure. Do I want to do that at that point? No, I'm gonna do it now. Okay, I'm gonna type all the way down something called whatever. I'm gonna call this whatever, and this will receive an URL and return back a path. Now I need you guys to come up with the name for this method, which probably could be sanitize URL, or URL to path. What do you guys think about this? There we go. Remove query parameters from URL and ensure it not starts with a slash. Does it work? I guess I have no idea. We're going to find out real soon. Let's go all the way top and use this URL to path. There we go. Almost. Not null constraint for bucket. Yeah, we need a bucket, that's for sure. You guys think that Laravel have an helper for this? Well, to be honest, sometimes when we need something really stupidly simple, I just use regular PHP. You know, I don't need the helper class. One really cool thing about PHP is that it is so many functions, you know what I mean? That are probably using something like this just works, you know? I don't have to worry about this. Oh, we have the URI helper? All right, let's try that one. Let me write a test for this, and then we replace this code with the URI helper, okay? Yeah, I think for now, Renato, I'm going to remove all the query parameters and think about those edge cases where query parameters are important in the future, if you don't mind. By the way, if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do, and today we are building a Google Analytics alternative. If you enjoy my content, just give me a follow on Twitch, but also on YouTube. Exactly, I'm going to test this before refactoring. That's what I will do, okay? So we don't have a bucket, meaning that we don't have a date. The date, I think I'm going to keep it stupidly simple and kind of use the now function for now. You know what I mean? I'm going to just do this. I know that probably it's not... Actually, I have an idea. I'm going to send the now date on the ingest activity job. So when we are creating this job, we are going to request a bucket, which will be a date time. You know what I mean? So this will be a regular bucket, just like this. And then I'm going to say, you have a page for that bucket. We do need to make sure that the bucket has the time 00. So this would be something like hours, I think. 00, there we go. This should just work. Yeah, perfect. How about now? Test suite still failing. There is no bucket provided, so I'm gonna go to ingest activity test and provide the function now. I really apologize if I'm going too fast. I know you guys, something I have learned. I'm gonna be honest, I have learned that over time, people do not like grinding, basically. You know what I mean? It's something funny because I just feel like when people are watching live streams, they don't like the grinding. You know what I mean? And I feel that for me, what will work is that I will have to mix grinding with chat, basically, you know? So there is a few live streams where I will be Q&Aing all the time. We'll be having a discussion, you know, and there will be basically only Q&A and discussion. And I know you guys love that, and I also love it, you know. But there will be other live streams like today's one where we are going to code a little bit more. So we'll have to combine this a little bit, you know. So we can have some code, but also can get some stuff done. You know what I mean? Yeah, the grinding. Yes. But something that I just know is that most viewers that actually don't have a lot of fun watching grinding, they prefer just literally have, you know, just a chat, basically. So I feel like we are going to combine both during, you know, during my live streams. You know what I mean? I won't use Docker on this project, you know. I think, well, again, it's kind of hard to do live streams, not do polarized statements, but I don't use Docker locally, basically. I just use herd, you know, and herd for PHP, and it just basically gives me access to, you know, the PHP version and also all the MySQL services and everything. So Crush Systems is saying, I like watching people coding strange things, but watching someone doing the same thing I do is kind of meh. Yeah, I get you, dude. I get you. It's totally okay. Adrian likes the pace. I also like this pace, though. Yeah. Okay. We still have a failing test read because the bucket must be at datetime, but I'm providing a carbon immutable. Yep, I'm fine with changing that type. I'm gonna go here and change this to carbon immutable real quick. There we go. Running past once again, still failing. Views requires a default value. And you guys know, I've talked with you about this. I don't like default values or cascade deletes on my migrations, precisely because this now requires me to go to the ingest activity job, which is this one, and be explicit about the page I'm about to create. Yeah, this will have 0 views and average time 0 by default. There we go. Still failing. Unhandled match case of type app value objects event. Interesting. What do we have here? Oh, of course. This needs to be event type. There we go. Almost. So we have an interesting thing here, which is actually this created 2 pages for some reason. Even though the payload is the same, right? So if I go here and I type dd pages all, it seems that our ingest activity have created 2 pages. Path about, path about. So this is definitely should have been the same one, right? So our create and first in create is not really working as we want. We need to check this out. I'm living in Portugal. Heard is insane. I agree with you, dude. Interesting. Someone on the chat is saying that first in create takes 2 arrays. The first array is the where clause, where the second array are the actual values. Thank you. That's exactly the problem I'm facing at the moment. So what I will do is provide another array for the where clause. Okay. So I think I'm gonna, save the path just like this and the bucket just like this, and provide the path just like this and the bucket just like this, and finally reuse these variables real quick. Do you think it'll work now? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my god, that was a good one. Thank you, thank you. Interesting. Mine's own real life, but also Hello Ronald is saying that you don't need to literally pass them twice. Interesting. So you guys saying that I don't need to do this? Thank you, thank you. Test wheel still passing. You guys know more about Laravel than I do, which is kind of crazy. I'm not using JetBrains AI. I'm using GitHub Copilot at the moment. Yeah. So this is working good at the moment, so we like this, okay? Do we have PHP stand happy? I don't think we do. Do we? Let's double check. Come on, PHP stand. No, it's not happy at all. Complaining about pretty much everything. Oh my god. All right, on create activity, apparently I am literally invoking ingest activity without a date. Obviously this will be now. There we go. Let's continue. What else? On ingest activity line 33, we have this little thing not being used, which you can remove. Map expects a callable. Huh? Wait, what? Laravel forever, let's go! So parameter 1 on line 33, which is this one, expects a callable. Oh, do I need to kind of type in this little thing? Is that it? How about now? Will you complain again about that? Oh, I know why. Oh, I know why. Okay, so we literally need to go to activity and kind of instruct how the casting is being done here. Okay, this is why PHP Stan is complaining, because events is an array but not a string. Now it should be good. There we go. Line 33. We run this with dash dash debug so the cache goes away. Stony is saying my UI is bugged. My follow keeps being undone. Are you hacking? I'm not, dude. Monthly 3, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you, man. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer. I love what I do. You can support my work by simply give me a follow on Twitch or YouTube. Thank you, thank you. Daniel is asking if I have experience with SQS. Yes, I do. You can use Laravel is rate limiting. How is it called? Basically, you can have a job middleware that literally allows you to kind of use locking. So, you know, the same type of job is not consumed twice, for example. This dash dash debug is literally a way of telling PHP Stan to not use cache, basically. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. Okay, let's try to understand what's happening though. So callback of the method collection map, which is this one, expects a callable with strings, which is not true. I'm so confused. Let's go to activity again. So events is an array. This is definitely okay, right? I don't need to do this, right? Let me just confirm. Okay, it's definitely array within this little thing right here. That's for sure. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it simple and kind of, you know, do our neighborhood friend. There we go. This should return void though. Someone is saying maybe wants you to add the int key. Do you think it's that? Because why would I want an int key? You know what I mean? We can try that one if you want to. I don't think that's it though. The event is on an array? What do you mean? It's definitely an array though. Oh, wait. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's literally an array. Let me try something though. Can I do something like this? This, activity, events. Oh, now I have to type the entire thing? Yeah, oh my god. I'm gonna keep it simple, literally just do this for now, if you guys don't mind. Something you guys need to understand is that PHP Stand is here to literally help you, not make your life a little bit more complicated. So if something like this happens and you just want to move forward, just do like this, and then maybe one of you guys, through a pull request, can fix this. No, this is definitely correct. I'm returning an event in both these cases, by the way, so... You know. I'm gonna keep it simple. I want to move forward, so... Probably address this later, if you guys don't mind. Exactly. Okay. So, line 36... what else is complaining now? Match expression does not handle the remaining value mixed. Okay, we don't have a mix to begin with. So I'm gonna make it typed from here. Okay. Will PHP Stand complain from now on? I hope it doesn't. Here I have to use a type. But then it will complain about all of this. Oh my god, this will be such a nightmare. Okay, let's do the entire thing then. Okay, guys. Let's apply everything we have learned so far, okay? So literally, this dude will be the following, okay? This dude will be an array where key is an integer, but then we have another array, and that array will have a type. That type will be a string. What else? And then I'm gonna have a payload, and that payload will be an array with string as a type, will be a key, and I'm gonna put mixit here, but let's see how it goes, okay? Bam, bam, boom. This should just do it, okay? I'm gonna provide this to the events, and let's see how it goes now. Come on, be a little bit friendly. Okay, 6 errors now, not 10. So now we have an unhandled remaining value string not being handled on the line 43. Okay, I can remove this for now and literally just do this. None of this would ever actually happen if the cast events would be already typed, but I guess I'm going to do that later. Line 39, there is no handle for the remaining value string because the type cannot actually be a string. This will be either view or view duration. There we go. Fixing PHP Stand errors, we have to. I mean, we have to do it once and that's it, right? Line 39s, I still have a string here for some reason. Oh my god, this is annoying me a little bit now. Event type. The type is a view or view duration. Why would you be complaining now, though? String? This would never be a string. What the heck? Line 38 should match what you have in the type on the line 43. Yeah, but we are still on the line 39 though. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think we have this function on PHP Stand called it debug type, or how is it called? Dump type, I think. No. Oh, I think it's dump type. Let's use this for now and see how it goes. Okay, give me a second. Because I actually have, on Laravel framework, I actually have, you know, typed the core. And to do that, I actually have introduced tests on the types. So if I go to collections, for example, I should be using like, oh, it's called the cert type. Right. Okay, let's use this. I think they have others though. Yeah, let's use the assert type for now. So is this thing any of this? Yeah. Or something like this. Let's see. Expected type must be a little string. Oh, wait a second. Is this thing even being used? Okay, it's definitely being used, that's for sure. Okay, there is definitely some problems with this map deal, by the way. Which I don't know what the problems are, but for some reason kind of expects everything to be a string here. Someone on the chat just sent me this dump type, so I'm gonna dump the event thing. I think, I'm gonna be honest, I think there is a problem right now with collections, and that's it. Oh, you guys can see. The type must be a view or view duration, and is literally like, you know, kind of ignoring that. There is definitely a problem with this. So... I want to move forward and then probably update Larastan tomorrow to see if the problem persists. You know what I mean? Line 41 now. Now we'll basically complain about everything. It's so annoying. I'm gonna move forward and let one of you guys fix this through a pull request, okay? But literally there's a problem with Larastan at the moment because I'm mapping this given array of events and it's telling me that the type is a string instead of being one of these two, okay? And you guys just saw that thanks to the dump function, this one, which just told us that we have a string on the type, which is not true. Okay, I'm gonna move forward and kind of ignore PHP stand for now. Okay, so test unit is passing as expected. We can move forward with this. What else do I want to do? I wanna move forward with this by kind of asserting that we have the correct information. So if I were to do something like fetch the first page, you know, what do I expect to see on the model itself? Well, I expect the path to be about without the slashing, you know, on the left. I expect the bucket to be the current time on now as well, and the time being this one. This is correct. The number of views being 1 and the average time being 2. This is correct, I think. Almost. I do need to format some of this though. Yeah, I need to format this. Is the date. There we go. Almost. Interesting. Do I want to do this? Perhaps. Yeah, I want to do this for now. I'm gonna test the bucket individually. I think I'm gonna do this and then test that we got a bucket. I'm gonna fetch the page just like this. and I want to test that we got that bucket correctly. Okay, so the bucket format up to hours, or up to seconds actually, matches exactly this one, but on the minute 0 and second 0. Okay, almost. Oh, interesting. The average time seems to be 0 at the moment. Failing asserting that the array have a key path with the value about, but also fail to asserting that 0 meets 2. Okay. What do we have here then? What's up, NZDev? I'm doing literally a Google Analytics alternative. You know, kind of doing my own analytics website. If you don't know me, my name is Nuno Maduro. I'm a PHP Laravel developer, and you can follow me on YouTube or Twitch if you enjoy my work. Mindzone or real life, I think I'm gonna, you know, fix these PHP stand issues later on. Or if you guys want to do an open source contribution, you can literally fix this by contributing to the project, okay? If you guys don't mind. By the way, I really like the domain Penstorm. I think that's a great domain for this app. Now I can use the page right here. It's telling me that the path is not about. So what is the path? It is about. Okay. I think I'm gonna do something a little bit more easier and probably a little bit more cleaner, which is expect the path to be about without the slashing thing. Views to be 1, average time to be 2, and finally the bucket to be this one. Okay, so the average time is definitely not 2, it's still 0, meaning that our ingest activity is literally wrong when we are handling the view duration. So I'm going to click on this, and of course at the moment we are doing nothing for now. So how can we calculate the average time? So it has to be related to the number of views. So I feel like the first thing we need to do is kind of fetch the views of the page, right? And once we have the views, something we can do is kind of calculate the new average time based on the number of views. So obviously the new average time will be, let me see what ChatGPT have computed so far. ChatGPT told me that the new average time will be the previous average time multiplied by the number of views plus the new number of seconds divided by... Nah, this is not correct. Give me a new one, ChatGPT. Still not correct. RL means Rocket League, by the way. Oh my god, I thought I was calling you real life or whatever, dude. I love Rocket League, by the way. Yeah, PHP Stand is like, PHP Stand and Laravel Stand is awesome. There is these few edge cases where you have to try, you know, you have to spend a little bit of time on them to literally fix them. So, and that's fine. Linus is asking, what is the best e-commerce boilerplate on Laravel? I don't actually know. I don't think there is any sort of e-commerce template for products on Laravel. Do you guys know any e-commerce boilerplate? I personally don't. Bagisto, interesting. Okay. Not familiar with Bagisto though. It's widely used? Okay, interesting. Oh, Francisco Barrento is saying that Lunar is also possibly a good e-commerce template. Okay. All right, dudes. For the average time, what information we have? Well, obviously we have the current average time, which is right here. And we know that the current average time, it's the current average time for the current amount of views we have. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Right. And we do have a new amount that we would like to increment on this or tweak the average time. How can we do this? ChatGPT is kind of suggesting me this to me, which the only reason why I don't think I want to do this, it's because it's kind of assuming that I want to increment the number of views, which I don't. So I think the solution is literally this. What do you guys think about this? So the new average time will be the previous one multiplied by the number of views plus the new number of seconds divided by... This is definitely not correct. I'm not using Docker, I'm using literally Laravel Herd. This will be deployed in Laravel Cloud. Exactly, Laravel Herd is just the best. Yeah, but I don't want to tweak the number of views though, you know what I mean? Because as I may actually be on the same page 30 seconds and then more 30 seconds and then more 30 seconds, and I don't want to actually tweak the number of views because I still have viewed that once, you know what I mean? So okay, I'm going to explain you the problem, folks. This is actually a real problem, okay? So we obviously have a current average time, okay? This is the current average time right here. And we also have the current amount of views. Okay, so this is the average time related to the amount of views we have. And what we have on this given view duration is that we have a new view duration, which will be potentially like 10 seconds, okay? The average time is possibly like an average of 5 seconds, let's say, okay? And this is the number of views, which potentially will be something like, let's see, 762 views, for example, okay? These 5 seconds are the average time of typically a user spends on the website, okay? So if I were to multiply average time, multiply it by the number of views, and then increment the seconds, and divide again by the number of views, I think this would do it. What do you guys think about this? I think this makes sense for me. When we release it, I'm going to be honest, once I have like a single chart, I'm going to open this to the world. Someone is saying just increment +1 to avoid the division by 0. That's a great point. Although, I feel like I'm going to do the following. I'm going to do if the page views is equals to 0, then the new average will be the exactly payload in seconds, just like that. Otherwise, the new average is this little math we just made. Okay. What do you guys think about this? Looks cool, huh? I think this is okay to me. What do you guys think about this? What do you mean about native PHP, Jonas? Ernest is saying, I know I'm thinking about switching from Vue to React, mainly because of the ecosystem. Do you recommend any resources to learn React? And also, thanks for the content you put out there. Thank you, dude. I recommend you to go to laracast.com. It's literally the place that I would learn React myself. It's a great platform for video learners, so absolutely. I'm not adding one to the view. So people on the chat are asking me why I'm not doing this. The reason it's because I want to actually send these events on a 30 seconds increment. So potentially, someone will send me a view event, but then will send me 3 view duration events. And those 3 view durations are not 3 new views, are literally 30 seconds that a user was on the website, and more 30 seconds afterwards, and more 30 seconds afterwards. You know what I mean? Oh, great point from Olker. If views is 0, probably the average should be 0 as well. You're probably right, dude. Exactly. Let's keep the views empty. I think this is an edge case. Typically, this will never happen because probably this handle view event will be called before regardless. You know what I mean? Okay. This does the job for now. Potentially we are going to improve this if we feel like there is stuff to improve here over time. You know what I mean? All right, folks. This is looking good. Why are you complaining though? Wrong string concatenation operator. Really? Because I need to introduce some casting. Probably should do that right now. Let me go to page and say that views are an integer. There we go. How about now? Will you complain again? I don't think so. Thank you, thank you. Exactly. We probably shouldn't even update this if there is no views at all. I agree with you. We can probably do some early return here. If the number of pages is 0 or views is 0, I'm gonna just early return this and kind of ignore the entire event, to be honest. And then I can just safely do this, I assume. Yeah. There we go. You guys are awesome, smart. There we go. Tests are passing, which is cool. Seconds from the payload is a string. Oh, that's why it's complaining, right? There we go. Should be fixed now. There we go. Yeah, typically I honestly, when I have an if-else thing, I usually opt for the ternary operation, you know? Okay, are you guys seeing any problem with this, or you guys think this is good? Say good on the chat if you guys think this is good. I think this is good, dude. Good, thank you, thank you. I also think this is good. Let's double check if our, you know, our ingest activity test is happy with this too. Yeah, he's definitely happy with this. So if I were to, for example, send 2 view durations, this is actually the real test. If I were to do something like this, let's send now 4 and then 6. And let's potentially have only 1 view. This should actually have an average of 4 seconds. This is the real test, dudes. So 3 new view durations with 2, 4, and 6 in a single view. This should actually give me back an average of 4. Ooh, that was close. The average is 12. This is definitely incorrect. Okay, so here I have a view, a single view. I'm going to multiply the new average time, which is 0. Oh, so that's the problem. Sometimes the average time may actually be 0 to begin with. Interesting. So when this happens, like when the average time is 0, we actually want to have the seconds as the new average, actually. This should just do it. Yep, how about now? Almost. Still 12. Do we actually have an integer here? Let me check. We do, okay. 2, 4, and 6, there we go. Let me just dump this real quick. Okay, I do have the 3 values right there. The first one... Oh. I'm stupid. Apologize. The average team is one from the page. Yeah, this is correct, actually. Let me just dump here. Average time. What do I have here? Using the best debugger in the world. You guys know it, right? 0, 2, and 6. So actually the first is correct. The second is correct. The third one is not correct. Oh, actually, let me think a little bit. Someone is saying that actually the 12 is correct because if I have only a single view, then the 12 is correct. So you know what? You actually may be right. So if I have one single view and I have spent on that same session 2 seconds, and then I've spent 4 seconds, and then I've spent 6 seconds, you are absolutely right. This should actually be 12. You're right. Thank you, thank you. Kind of TDD. Right now I'm kind of doing both, you know? So... That's a great point, by the way, chaos. So 12 is absolutely correct with one view. So what you guys are saying is that if I were to have another view, let's put here another view on the same about page, and this view had the duration of 3 seconds, for example. What do we expect to see? If there is another view, and we have this amount of view durations, what do we expect to see? Let me think a little bit. So this guy would be 12. And then we are going to have 7.5, I think. Yep. Or this, which will be 7, I think. So we obviously have now 2 views, of course, makes sense. On the average, we should have something like 7, 13. Let me think. The first one will have 12, but then we have more 2 divided by 2 views. I would not expect to see 13 though, would you? Interesting. Oh, 13, yeah, but why 13? That's the question. It should be 7.5, yeah, exactly. Not 7.5, actually, all this combined should be 7, literally, you know what I mean? 7 because of no floats, yeah, but 7, this should be 7. And the result is not being 7 at the moment, it's being 13. So let's do some math here. Or try to debug why this is wrong. So this you could call a little bit of TDD on the fact that I have added a little bit of, you know, a failing test, and now I'm correcting the failing test, or kind of adjusting the logic to kind of have a passing test afterwards. You know what I mean? And Philly is asking, how can someone spend 3 times on the same page without navigating away? I can explain you. So sometimes, for example, you spend 30 seconds on the same... Imagine that you spend, for example, 5 minutes on the same page. You know what I mean? If you spend 5 minutes on the same page, I don't want to send like at the end of the thing, like the view duration of 5. I typically want to send increments of 30 seconds so we can have, you know, all that information close to real time. I don't play guitar though. No, this is not still one view. We actually have two now. There we go. I think I know what is wrong though. What is potentially wrong is so if I do this, let me check what I have. So I have 2 views, an average time of 13. So this is undeniably wrong. Let's go here into the ingest activity and try to debug some of these values. I'm going to dump the following. Oh my god, there we go. Current average time. This will be current views. There we go. This will be event seconds. Computed average time. Okay, let's dump all of this stuff. Okay, so the very first time we had one view and the current average time was 0, meaning that the new seconds about to be incremented was 2, so the new average time is 2. So this makes sense. The second time, still with one view, I received 4 more seconds. And 2 plus 4 makes 6, so this makes sense. The third time, we had a current average duration of 6. The current views is still 1, and the new event seconds is 6. So 6 plus 6 makes 12. Afterwards, we have the current average time of 12, which is this one. The current amount of views is 2. The event seconds, though, about to increment is 2. The computed average time is 13. So what is wrong is literally this little function we have here. This little computing here, this is wrong. This is undeniably wrong, okay? This is what we need to fix. Hi John, welcome to the live stream. Nice to see you. Someone is saying that the problem may actually not come from this little handle view duration, but from the way we increment the views, because when we are incrementing the views, we forgot to divide the current average duration, which you probably are right. So what you guys saying is that we obviously have, you know, we increment the view, we increment the views, but we still have the whole average, which we should probably divide by 2, or, you know, by the number of views, okay? Let's do the following. Let's save the current average time right here, like that. In the current view, let's increment the view. Let's do like this, +1, there we go. And then update the given page with the new amount of views and divide the current average time by the number of views. This should actually do the job. There we go. It's kind of funny because what am I doing right now? What am I doing today on live stream? This is literally bread and butter of a daily job. You know, this is what I do 8 hours per day when I'm working for Laravel or whatever. It's literally spending the entire day writing tests, having the test suite failing, and in fixing those tests. You know, this is literally what I do, and probably what most of you do as well. You know, does your daily life look like this or what? My life, it's literally like this all day, you know, just literally having a failing test suite, address everything, and then, you know, having a passing test suite. Megacorp CTO is saying that he does this literally using PGSQL. Interesting. On Laravel, we do have daily stand-ups, yeah. Well, not daily stand-ups, but we have a meeting like literally every week. It's not interesting, Megacorp CTO, like the PGSQL stuff. Oh my god. Let's do a few things here, dudes. I want to test a few things here, like I want to test that it ignores a view duration event without views. So if I do something like this, literally at the end, what I do expect is still no activity. I expect one page. However, that page should be totally empty. There we go. Perfect. What else do I expect? I expected as well to be able to provide a new event view on the About page and kind of prepare everything. There we go. Expect the path to be about, the number of views to be 1, but the average time spent to be 0. And this will be ignore view duration if there is no view durations sent. All right, this should do it. There we go. All right, Pint not complaining. Let's run Bractor on this. This autocomplete is literally PHP Storm with GitHub Copilot, okay? So we have Rector PHP kind of doing a good job overall, kind of removing this event method not being used, which is kind of cool. We have also seen Rector PHP converting this full function to an anonymous function, which is kind of cool. Which tells me that I should be able to run composer test. However, PHP Standard will complain the shit out of that ingest activity. As a homework, if you guys want to literally make PHP Stand happy on this map and on this each function and everything, do not hesitate on, you know, pull requesting that if you don't mind. I'm going to keep it simple for now and kind of ignore this. There we go. So I can type git add-p. I want this, I want this, I want this as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is all of the test suite I have added. Yep. I'm going to type git commit-m. This is related to activities. Ingest the payload of events. Okay. So just to recap a little bit, kind of my goal for tomorrow is that now we have this queue job, which is able to consume events that are sent through this activity. My goal for tomorrow is actually code the API, okay? So under the HTTP folder, we're going to have API controllers. And those API controllers will receive activities and dispatch this ingest activity queue job so we can actually, you know, receive any kind of events in our API. And yeah, those events will be sent through a JavaScript script, which we still have to code. John is asking, do you find useful GitHub Copilot in general? Absolutely, dude. Like, I'm going to tell you something up front. If you are not using any kind of LLM generator for your code, you are literally missing out, you know? I know that a lot of people do think that they can just bypass that, but I can tell you up front, like, the auto completion that you get from AI is just so good, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not only I'm definitely using Inertia 2 in React for the front end of this. Absolutely, absolutely. And yes, I always start with the back end because, you know, a cool thing about building a product from my experience is that the first thing you want to tackle is build an MVC that solves the main critical point of the product. And obviously, if we are building an analytics product, the first thing we want to crack is literally being able to receive events from the front end, you know, and being able to display them on a beautiful dashboard. So I kind of want to build that. Yeah, Inertia is awesome. I love Inertia. Okay, so guys, just to recap a little bit, we still have our test suite not happy, because if I were to run a composer test, which runs the entire test suite, I expect PHP stand to fail because of this ingest activity job. And something we need to address is literally the type inference of this map function. So I will let you guys check that and probably do a pull request, because, you know, not in the mood of literally spending some time here understanding what's happening. Yeah, Inertia is awesome, man. I also love Inertia. Absolutely. Okay. We did a good job today, which is kind of create these actions, kind of finalize a little bit actions in queue jobs. So we have this create activity action, which will dispatch within a DB transaction this ingest activity. Okay, we'll create the activity and then dispatch this queue job that will consume this activity on the backend, so we can answer as fast as possible to our API. And afterwards, this will literally kind of look at these events and mutate our page DB row based on that information. And at the end, we'll delete these activities, which is a very important thing. Remind yourself that we are working with analytics, and something we don't want is kind of storing all this data each time someone sends us an event. So we need kind of process that event and kind of delete that event, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. You know what I mean? Great question from Malok, which is, if the job fails, it will roll back. So there is 2 points to it. On the action itself, if dispatching the queue job fails, again, if dispatching the queue job fails, potentially SQS is done, for example, the activity won't be created, okay? However, within ingest activity, if the job itself fails for any reason, I wouldn't predict this to fail, but if for any reason this fails, we are literally retrying the job afterwards, you know? But yeah, tomorrow I want to work on the API, okay? So the goal is literally having an API that dispatches this, not dispatch, but uses this action, call it create activity. So we need to work on 2 things, just the route itself. The route will be super simple, just literally API/v1, and probably the endpoint will be activity. and people will send store requests to their activity, we are going to validate the given payload using form requests on Laravel, and we are going to call this action, okay? In the final last piece of the puzzle, which let's see if tomorrow we have time, the final last piece of the puzzle will be having a JavaScript script, which will be served for now from our application public folder. So it will be some sort of, listener.js, where customers will be able to do something that looks like this: script, data project, and then have a UUID, which we still have to work on that. And afterwards, they will, have this directly from panstorm.com / some sort of whatever it is, collector or whatever, .js. Okay. MHD is saying PR sent. For what exactly? Fixes types on... Oh, the PHP stand deal? The typo was Captain yelling about in the chat. Interesting. What is? I don't think you can do this, though. Yeah, you cannot do this. I'm going to explain you why. So if I go to ingest activity right here, and if I do this, let's run past PHP. This is an array, a regular array, It's not actually a type. That's why I'm literally typing an array right there. You know what I mean? So obviously, if I were to, if I were to do this, for example, this will obviously fail. You know what I mean? There you go. It is actually an array. No problem, dude. Linus is asking me if average time considers view time of all users and what is time range, which average view time. Yeah, so the average time considers the view time of all users. It's literally an average, which in hindsight, we may have to think about that, but we are using that for now. And the time range also considers that. We have literally this concept of buckets. So we are going to store, that information depending on the bucket, basically. Okay. In hindsight, I probably forgot to add a given test. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to do this real quick. It handles, visits on different buckets. You probably have to deal with this too, right? So if I have something that looks like this, if I have, an activity that visits the about page for, let's say, 5 seconds, for example, and then just below I have another activity like B, which visits the about page now for 10 seconds. And then if I were to have 2 ingest activities, one that was 1 hour ago and another one that was right now, okay, and I would act on both jobs, I would expect to have 2 pages, by the way. Okay, so this will be page A, and this will be page B. I can do... Do we have a latest? Yeah, we do. Nice. Yeah, by the way, if you want to first, like, get the first one, you can do like this, but you can also get the latest one like this, which is kind of cool. So I expect both to kind of, you know, both activities to be null, that's for sure. The page count to be 2. The path to be about on both, which is kind of cool. By the way, someone was asking me, like, if I use AI for code generation. You guys can see how much code I just have generated, which is so cool. What is the Pomodoro technique? I have no idea what that is. Let's just let's put here fixed dates though, so I can actually test if the buckets were created in the correct time. Let's put here something like 2025 at 1 a.m. at 1:10, for example, and this would be 2025 at 2 a.m. 30 minutes, for example. So I can actually work with real dates right here. There we go. And this one the same. Nice. Do we have a passing test suite? I guess we're going to find out real soon. Almost. One test failing. The bucket needs to be a carbon immutable, and you are giving me a string on the line 101. Interesting. Oh, of course. So we need to create a date here. Should I use the now? Do we have a date create from this? Let's see. Yeah, we do. Nice. Can I... Oh, interesting. I can provide them one by one. Interesting. There we go. Does this even work? Perhaps. It does. Nice. Okay. So this would be another date, but this time will be at the hour 2 in minute 30. Pomodoro is saying work 25 minutes and then take a small break. Yeah, that's what I'm doing when I'm chatting with you all. Someone is asking what I use for code generation. I answered, I'm using GitHub Copilot at the moment. So you see this GitHub Copilot thing? This is what am I doing for code generation. Okay, so the page 1 number of views seems to be 0 for some reason. Okay, why is that, by the way? If I do page 1, are we correctly incrementing the number of views? Right here, we are, definitely are. Interesting. Let's only run this test. So if I go here into ingest test page, there we go. If I run this, only this. Okay. Oh, I'm stupid. I should have used here the view one, not the other one. That's fine. I was using view duration and kind of assuming that would increment the view itself. It doesn't. So this needs to be like this though. Okay. There we go. Almost. Oh, the last one is literally regarding the date. It's telling me that the page B is kind of pointing to 1 o'clock for some reason. I'm wondering if this latest is actually working as expected. Can you give me, please, those two? ID1. And this is ID1 as well. Interesting. We do have two, right? Let me just confirm. The page is about as well on both. Yeah, so this is not working as I wanted. I'm gonna do something a little bit more fancy. Can I do this? Can I do this? Yes, I can. Let's go. So as you guys can see, something we are doing now is kind of, you know, an advanced test for the logic we have. But what I wanted to confirm is that if I'm sending two activities, okay, and they both concern kind of different dates, okay, this was sent at like 1 a.m. and this was sent at 2 a.m. I wanted to make sure that we are literally preserving this on a database on two different buckets. So when something like this happens, they are sent on different hours, on different timing of the day. I wanted to make sure that, you know, we have literally two pages on the database, both concern the about page. However, they both, you know, are mutating each own page. So if I were to, for example, do something like this, you know, this would only change this one for 2. There we go. Yeah, destructing works on collections. I don't see a lot of people doing this kind of deal, the destruct deal, but it's kind of fancy, I feel. It's kind of cool. All right, dudes. I think this is way more than enough for an MVC, you know, for an MVP. I think we have everything we need here for sure. We can obviously improve testing later on if you want to, but I think this does the job for now, okay? So I'm gonna add this, run Pint real quick. Obviously we have still PHP stand complaining, so if any of you can fix that, I would really appreciate that. So I'm gonna type activities. Actually, I'm gonna type feat activities, yep. Add missing test, okay? There we go. All right, as a reminder, we now have this project fully open source, and you can find that literally on this given link I'm gonna send to you. You don't have to literally make a very complicated contribution, but you can literally start working on that. And if you just arrived, my name is Nuno Maduro, PHP and Laravel developer, and I love what I do, and I'm currently building a SaaS, which is a Google Analytics alternative. It's fully open source, so anyone can really contribute if you want to. And, you know, if you want to help, you can literally just go to the repo, and you can start by making a small contribution if you want to. But the goal is literally building this SaaS all together, okay? It's Laravel development, so it's really easy. It should be really easy for all of you, okay? So, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for some more content. I hope you guys appreciated today his live stream. It was a bunch of code, but we needed to move forward with this and actually make some progress. And I feel we made progress, and tomorrow should be way more smoother because we just have to code the API, which should be very simple. Not a lot of work, hopefully. And yeah, we are making progress on this, and I guess I catch you all tomorrow. If you don't know, if you're watching me from other platforms, typically what I do is I rate people when I'm finishing the live stream. So what I will do now is add over into the software and game development section, and I'm going to rate someone. Ideally, someone doing PHP or Laravel, if I can find anyone. If not, you know, someone doing other types of languages. Thank you, Diabel. I really appreciate you saying that. Resilience is saying, let's check out names the issues. What do you mean? Jonas, see you tomorrow, dude. Thanks for coming once again. Lucas, thank you so much for being here today, man. I really appreciate that. Oh, the domains names? Let's click here and see. Oh my god, you guys are just awesome. Little watch, analytics, pen monitor, penstatlab.com, track with pen, penalizer, pen tools. Penstorm is available. I really like this one though. Penstorm is really cool. Here is a logo idea. What is this? Wow, kind of sexy, huh? I like this. Oh my god. How have you done this? Is this sort of some AI generator or something? How have you done this? To be honest, I like Penstorm. I think Penstorm is really cool. What do you guys think about Penstorm, by the way? I think Penstorm has a good likelihood of becoming a real cool name for us. What do you guys think? You love it, Charlie? I also like it, to be honest. The logo is AI generated. It does look cool though, right? Yeah, Penstorm is definitely better than the one I have at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna raid CM Greifing, which is a very cool dude. He's literally live streaming every single day. It's 60 bucks to get the logo. Interesting. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here today. That was a lot of code, but I hope you guys appreciated the live stream. Tomorrow will be a little bit more chatty, for sure. You know, to kind of relax a little bit, but today was fun. It was 3 hours live stream. I hope you guys appreciated. I love you all. That being said, catch you guys tomorrow, okay? See you tomorrow. Peace out.